November 6th and 7th, Sunday and Monday, the sun is in Scorpio and the moon is in Aquarius, and so is Mars. So what this means is we are in a square. And if you're learning astrology, you know that 90-degree angles are indicative of tension. They're both in fixed signs. Scorpio, by the way, is very stubborn. They're very willful. They're very self-contained. They don't want to be told what to do, and they have a very strong internal compass that says, don't push me around. I've got my true north, and you are not going to tell me what to do. Then you add Aquarius, and they're like, oh my God. They're so not interested, and furthermore, they have the weirdest opinions. So this is psychic. Believe it or not, Scorpio-Aquarius combination, if you have this in your chart, it's such flashes. Aquarius is the sign that just knows things without knowing how they know them. They don't follow the norm. They're outside the box. They're kind of like trendsetters and futurists. And Scorpio's inside their house going, shh, don't talk. So Aquarius, talk, talk, talk. It's an air sign. Scorpio, quiet, internal, focus. So you put these two together and they've got this wild source as an Aquarian of information and research and reading and going on the internet. And then Scorpio goes, let me think about that. Let me feel into it. And suddenly that combination creates a very strong knowing. Like they talk to dead people. I know it sounds weird. They get flashes before their dreams come true. I've heard so many clients tell me, like they saw the 9/11 example. It's a perfect example where a child wakes up in the middle of the night and screaming at their mom. They're going into the buildings. I see these airplanes. Their gift is being in the future and being able to sense, because the Scorpio is so self-contained. And the Aquarius is so electric. So it creates a very exotic sensibility that makes people self-conscious. Because when you have a square inside your chart, you can find out, is your sun and moon squared? It usually indicates that your childhood was very difficult, that somehow or other, the mother and the father, the moon's the mother, the sun is the father, were conflicted, and therefore you've internalized it. But at the high road, as an astrologer, when I see this or I see a student with this, I say, listen, you guys, this could work for you if you're willing to be comfortable with letting your words track these intuitions and not be self-conscious. So that's what's going on. And just so you know, there is a book signing coming up November 11th and 12th in Seattle. So any of you that are interested in learning more about astrology and the elements, I wrote this book called The Missing Element. It will be in Seattle at the East West Bookstore, and I'd love to invite you to come and hear me speak and talk about the psychological patterns. I am a psychotherapist, and so that's the Scorpio. But the Aquarius is the astrology, believing in woo-woo and magic and putting the two together and not being uncomfortable and saying, oh, this is so weird, and I had the strangest dream, and instead saying, I trust and I believe in magic, and there are doorways and access to information that doesn't always make Aquarius sense, but intuitive knowing. And you put those two together and wow, that's information. So Astrology Answers brought Debra Silverman to tell you that on November 6th and 7th, Sunday and Monday, you might want to do some meditation. You might want to do some internalizing and listening, because while there's tension in the air, it's a very good time for listening and listening to what doesn't make sense, but what you feel in your tummy.